Hi, my name is Robert Chelle with Chelle Law, and I'm an attorney that assists physician assistants with employment contract and independent contractor agreement review. Today I'm going to talk about physician assistant, sign-on bonus, and relocation review, meaning when I'm looking over a contract with a PA and there is a sign-on bonus or relocation assistance, what are some key things that we look at? Some red flags, and then some solutions for some of those problems. So first, if you're a PA who's maybe just coming out of training, or you've been out a while and you're just looking to switch jobs, there are some considerations when accepting a new job. Many of them will offer a signing bonus. I'd say for a PA, they're not, insanely high, but somewhere between maybe $5,000 to $10,000 wouldn't be uncommon. But some things to think about. One, when is it paid? So is it paid when you sign the contract? Is it paid within your first pay period after you begin seeing patients? Is it paid after 6 months, a year? You need to look at the timing of when the bonus is paid. Two, there will be some kind of repayment obligations associated with the bonus. 99% of the time, meaning it will say the PA must stay for 2 years or they have to pay back the entire amount of the bonus. Now, from a PA's perspective, you want to shorten the time period and the forgiveness interval. So the scenario I just suggested, it's a 2-year forgiveness, kind of an all or nothing thing. You stay 2 years or you got to pay the whole thing back. Ideally, you would want maybe a 1-year repayment obligation and then forgiven monthly. So for instance, let's say you leave on month 11, then you only owe 1/12 back of the amount instead of owing the entire thing back, even though you worked for the vast majority of the year. So that's one thing to think about. Now, as far as negotiating signing bonus, it's very simple. You just ask for more if you think that you're, have some kind of justification for that. Now, when you ask for more, it's usually better to say, well, these are the reasons why I'd like a higher signing bonus. It can't just be because I want more money. I don't think most places are keen on hearing that as a justification. You need to say, I will bring this amount of patients, or this is my normal. If you've been out a while, I can rip through this many patients efficiently. These were my RVUs I generated last year. These were my collections last year. So using past performance to justify a higher signing bonus is usually a good idea. Now, if they offer you a $10,000 signing bonus and you ask for $60,000 signing bonus, they're going to laugh at you and say, no, maybe you're delusional, but it needs to be a reasonable ask. So try to find maybe on some kind of PA boards or most of the kind of MGMA-ish organizations don't list signing bonuses or average signing bonuses. It really, as somebody who reviews contracts every day, it really varies place to place. There is no standardized amount, but you can certainly negotiate it. Next, relocation assistance. I think there aren't a ton of PAs who graduate and then move specifically for jobs. I find for whatever reason, if they're going to school, living in the community, normally they'll stay and just find a PA job where they live. And so relocation assistance is not as common for a PA as it would be for a physician who's coming out of training and they're almost like assuredly gonna move somewhere else. But if you are moving specifically for a job, then they should pay for your move to some extent. Somewhere between $5,000 to $10,000 would be a reasonable amount. Goes towards your moving expenses, and then usually the repayment obligation for that would be similar to what it was for the signing bonus. So you got to stay for 2 years or stay for a year, or you got to pay the entire amount back. All right, last kind of consideration. When you get paid these bonuses, they are taxed. So you may have a $10,000 signing bonus, but you're not getting $10,000. You're going to get $6,000. But if for whatever reason you leave, like let's just say it's a 2-year repayment obligation. Let's say you leave, between year 1 and 2, and you have to pay the entire amount back. you don't pay the taxed amount back to them. You pay the gross amount, meaning if you had a $10,000 signing bonus, only received $6,000 after taxes were taken out, they expect you to pay back the full $10,000. Now, you can get that money back in your, for the next year when you file your taxes, but it can be a shock to some PAs when they only received, X amount, but have to pay back significantly more than that. So just keep that in mind. All right, that's a little background on sign-on bonus and relocation for physician assistants. If you have any questions about your employment agreement or independent contractor agreement, feel free to contact my law firm. The information is listed below in the description, and I appreciate you watching the video. All right, take care.